World War Z. ژانر اکشن، ماجراجویی، ترسناک. کارگردان مارک فورستر. فیلمنامه متیو مایکل کارناهان و جی میشل استراتچینسکی. بر اساس رمان World War Z اثر مکس بروکس. تهیه کنندگان براد پیت، دیدی گاردنر و جرمی کلاینر. کمپانی های تهیه کننده پارامونت پیکچرز و اسکایدنس پروداکشنز. بازیگران براد پیت، میرل اینوس، جیمز بچدیل و متیو فاکس. موسیقی متن مارکو بلترانی. پخش از پارامونت پیکچرز. زمان فیلم 116 دقیقه. تاریخ اکران جون 2013. بودجه ساخت 190 میلیون دلار. کشورهای سازنده آمریکا و انگلستان. محل فیلمبرداری کشورهای آمریکا، انگلستان، اسکاتلند، مالتا و مجارستان. امتیاز فیلم در سایت IMDb 7.1.
Does it live in a jungle?
No. Oh.
Is it really fast?
No.
Does it live on the Great Plains of Africa?
No.
Hey!
What is going on? Hold on, guys.
Daddy, be careful on the road.
Jerry?
Get back in your car right now! Remain with your vehicle!
Are you okay?
We're getting out of here.
Terry, what is this?
It's the same worldwide. Is anyone doing better than we are?
We don't know.
I'm scared.
How do we know they're coming?
They're coming. Ready?
I need you to help him.
You're asking me to leave my family.
I'm not gonna force you.
Don't pretend you're not well suited for the job.
Baby.
Tell the kids I'm coming back. Just know I'm coming back.
پس از کشمکش‌های مالی بسیار با اپین وی، شرکت تولیدی لئوناردو دیکاپریو، کمپانی پلان بی انترتینمنت براد پیت در سال 2007 حق امتیاز ساخت فیلم و اقتباس از رمان ورلد وار زد را به خود اختصاص داد. جی میشل استراتچینسکی، خالق آثاری چون بابل 5 و رایزینگ استارز، فیلمنامه این فیلم را به نگارش درآورد و عنوان کرد که خلق شخصیت اصلی داستان فیلم از بطن کتابی که مانند گزارش سازمان ملل از جنگ زامبی ها می باشد، کار بسیار پیچیده‌ای بوده است. مارک فورستر نیز قرارداد کارگردانی را امضا و آن را به فیلم همه مردان رئیس جمهور تشبیه کرد که یادبود توطئه‌های هیجان انگیز دهه 1970 می باشد. اما استراتچینسکی این فیلم را به دلیل وسعت بین المللی گسترده و تأکید زیادش بر روی مسائل سیاسی تا حدی شبیه به هویت بورن اثر داگ لیمان قلمداد می‌کرد.
Health organization has been tracking the recent outbreak of rabies that began in Taiwan and has now been reported in over 12 countries, responding to allegations he hasn't done enough to...
I think the opening sequence where the zombies first strike is so scary to us because we're reading in the news about emerging diseases. For example, there are viruses emerging from Saudi Arabia or from China where we've never really seen these particular viruses before, and we don't really understand how they work. And people are getting sick and people are dying, and you don't know what you should be doing because these viruses can spread as quickly as the zombies spread. I mean, if someone is sick and gets on a plane, they can be in another country, on another continent in a matter of hours. That's how real viruses spread around the world. And so these zombies are spreading kind of like viruses do, and it's very scary.
هنگامی که از مکس بروکس نویسنده رمان درباره دخالتش در فیلم و انتخاب نقش‌ها سوال شد، عنوان کرد که کنترل خاصی در این امر نداشته، ولی همیشه علاقه‌مند بوده که یکی از رول‌های اصلی این فیلم را براد پیت بازی کند و استراچینسکی نیز با او هم عقیده بوده است. بروکس همچنین در جولای سال 2009 اعلام کرد که متن فیلمنامه توسط متیو مایکل کارناهان بازنویسی شده و حضور مارک فورستر به عنوان کارگردان و براد پیت به عنوان بازیگر نقش اول فیلم حتمی شده است. در مارچ 2011 در خبرها اعلام شد که کمپانی پارامونت به دنبال سرمایه گذار بوده و بدون کمک مالی قادر به تولید این فیلم نمی باشد. و یک هفته بعد رسانه‌ها خبر از حضور اسکایدنس و دو کمپانی دیگر بر سر میز مذاکرات می‌دادند. همچنین حضور میرل اینوس برای بازی در نقش همسر براد پیت و جیمز بچدیل در نقش یک سرباز آمریکایی که تلاش دارد تا تهدید زامبی‌ها را به مقامات هشدار بدهد اعلام شد و پس از چندی حضور متیو فاکس نیز در فیلم تایید گردید.
No, we're not really in Philadelphia. Here we're in the center of Glasgow, sort of the center of town. And Glasgow was generous enough to basically close down the whole part of their center. And we have like several streets here blocked for ourselves to do the opening of the movie. And it's been really exciting to be here because they've been very cooperative. And it really gave us the scale we were looking for. And once you change the street signs and you put some cabs in and you also use some digital plates from Philadelphia, the city really will look like Philadelphia.
Glasgow was kind of an unbelievable discovery as Philadelphia, and largely unfilmed in, so they received us very generously and kind of let us take them over for 2 weeks.
Rolling.
We first talked about shooting the sequence in 6 days, and I think then people sat around the table and realized, hang on, this is much more complex, we needed more days. So I approached the council and asked for an 18-day closure of this area, which is enormous. I mean, it's never been done in England before. A city centre shut down for 18 days.
So background, you start running, slightly further up, there's going to be a camera there looking at you.
Simon Crane has been in charge of the second unit direction, and he's got a terrific team around him as well.
I think this is actually better.
Mark had a real big passion, for the whole project, and it was really what he wanted to bring was scale. We wanted to do as much practically as possible, but to give a huge scale to the film, and which we're doing.
Get back in your car right now!
In the opening sequence, we have a truck that does some damage to Main High Street.
We've done a lot of stunts where we had a big, like a snow plow mounted on the front of the garbage truck. So as the truck's driving through, you get cars literally flipping around all over the place. One of the things we're trying to do is give it a very documentary kind of style. But on this one, we really want to tie Brad and his family into the action. So what we did, within the Volvo, we actually mounted 4 different cameras which give us an overlapping tile background. And then Brad, we can shoot green screen and actually have him driving and being part of the action.
از آنجایی که به دلیل ابهامات مالیاتی شهر فیلادلفیا لوکیشن مناسبی نبود، لذا در آگوست 2011 فیلمبرداری در شهر گلاسکوی اسکاتلند ادامه پیدا کرد که در آنجا با ساخت دکور فروشگاه‌ها و تردد ماشین‌های آمریکایی در جاده‌ها شهر فیلادلفیا را شبیه سازی کردند. فیلمبرداری در گلاسکو با بودجه 125 میلیون دلار آغاز شد و نیازمند استخدام 2000 نیروی محلی بود که تقریباً 3000 نفر برای این کار اعلام آمادگی کردند، به این امید که بتوانند در صحنه‌های مربوط به شهر فیلادلفیا حضور داشته باشند. برخی از صحنه‌های فیلم اختصاص به کشتی USS مدیسون داشت که برای این کار از کشتی ناوگان سلطنتی RFA آرگس به عنوان بدل استفاده شد و به منظور آمریکایی کردن ظاهر آن تغییراتی در نمای بیرونی کشتی اعمال گردید. همچنین 4 قایق کوچک برای فیلمبرداری به همراه این کشتی حرکت می‌کردند و مابقی ناوگان‌های جنگی در مرحله پس از تولید و توسط تکنولوژی‌های CGI به اطراف آن اضافه شدند.
The military are coming in, doing roadblocks, trying to channel everybody away from where all the action is. The main reason I'm here is to go through the script, make sure that they're keeping as realistic as possible. But don't bring them all the way down, stop them at the signs right here, and then we'll go ahead and move them in groups. I'm helping them with the progression of the breakdown in the military to tell the story.
Why don't you take charge of the situation and yell some stuff to him? He yells something.
I trained Mr. Pitt on a film called Spy Games years ago. He's very particular about everything. If I have a National Guardsman here, he wants to know exactly why it's there, what are they doing, why are they doing that, what's the weapon doing, why does he have that weapon? He's very particular about every small detail.
The National Guard have been called out. I think you'll see some of them behind us. We've got M16s, we've got M4s, we've got SWAT teams here with shotguns, we've got MP5s, we've got the police with Glock pistols, and slowly we'll start to see the guns coming into use. But we've been firing a lot of weapons this morning to get the crowd motivated.
In terms of crowds, some days when we're in smaller streets, in the beginning of the sequence, we were getting away with 200 crowd to make the streets look full. And now that we're moving into the square for the mayhem, we're bumping up to 700.
Speed camera. Action!
The idea behind the live action photography with actors and stunt people was have real people on the street that were panicked. Most of the shots have real actors acting like they've been bitten, being taken over, becoming a zombie. Then we intermingled with that certain shots where it was a CG character or a CG herd running across, because now this entire city is being engulfed, starting with a bite and a bite and a bite. Suddenly you don't know who do you trust. You better just move, because it's nothing but this driving wave of zombies that's coming at you, and it's a mix of computer graphics animation, animated characters, as well as great performance.
Come on, let's go!
I think our biggest production challenge was getting the right level of chaos, and yet chaos that can be understood, and having that be with the family and with them enough that you're emotional and connected to them emotionally. And yet also understanding the insane things that are going on around them.
It's a very challenging movie because we have huge crowds. Cut. There are very few scenes where we have 2 people sitting around a table. It's mostly like hundreds and hundreds of extras every scene and big setups that it's a challenge, but everything we're getting so far is really, really special.
Roll video.
در اکتبر 2011 تیم تولید برای فیلمبرداری صحنه‌های نبرد شهر بوداپست در مجارستان را انتخاب کرده و راهی آنجا شدند. 85 قبض تفنگ و کلت کمری برای این منظور با یک هواپیمای اختصاصی به شهر بوداپست ارسال شد، ولی بر اثر یک سوء تفاهم مرکز مقابله با تروریسم دولت مجارستان به انباری که این اسلحه ها در آنجا نگهداری می شدند حمله کرده و تمامی آنها را ضبط نمودند و این کار روند فیلم برداری را تا سال بعد به تأخیر انداخت. در می 2012 گروه فیلم برداری مجدداً راهی بوداپست شده و این بار با مانع دیگری برخورد کردند. متن فیلمنامه اشکالاتی داشت که پایانی بسیار ناگهانی و بی ربط را برای فیلم رقم می‌زد. در نتیجه بازنویسی دوباره فیلمنامه 30 تا 40 دقیقه به زمان فیلم اضافه شد تا پایانی منسجم داشته باشد. این کار بودجه تولید فیلم را به 190 میلیون دلار افزایش داد و مک ایوانز رئیس کمپانی پارامونت را شوکه کرد. از طرف دیگر تصمیم بر آن شد تا برای کاهش بار سیاسی فیلم بخش‌هایی از صحنه‌های نبرد با زامبی‌ها در میدان سرخ مسکو حذف شود و فیلم حالت دوستانه‌تری به خود بگیرد، چرا که در این صحنه‌ها شخصیت براد پیت بیشتر نمود یک ابرقهرمان را داشت تا یک مرد خانواده و دلسوز.
How do we know they're coming?
They're coming.
In this particular action sequence, there was a building rooftop created, surrounded by green screen, and when you extract the green, you can replace anything you want. And the nice thing is you can do what would be incredibly dangerous shots otherwise. You can do safe shots with the actors and with the stunt people with this sort of a setup.
One of the things we see in the movie when faced with this massive pandemic, which is an epidemic on a global scale, is this idea of utility. If you're helpful, we'll keep you as part of the group, and if you're unhelpful, we'll throw you out of the group. This not dissimilar from the large ship that we see floating off into the Atlantic, and that's what happens in the case of the Brad Pitt character.
Can't leave my family.
He may be strong-armed into helping the larger group, but his main interest is in his family.
Each and every one of these people are here because they serve a purpose. Let's figure out how we stop this.
So we're here in the Argus, which is basically a British Navy ship and is standing in for, in the film it's supposed to be an American Navy ship. And it's basically this landing deck we're here on is sort of the landing platform where Jerry and his family all landing down with a chopper after they just escaped the zombies. And they're landing here and sort of like they're in a safe spot. It's sort of like one of the last safe places in the world. It's really great to work on a real aircraft carrier instead of like you're doing it all on stage, because you still get the real feeling. And I feel like always on a real location, it just gives you like a palette that it's much wider, which is really great what we want for this film, because it is World War Z, so the scale is really important.
They had a ship in dry dock, and it's far easier to shoot people on a ship next to a dock where you can get all your equipment and all your people on and off as needed instead of taking this out to sea and shooting at the whims of the weather. So they just patched in green as needed depending on where the camera is looking, and then you replace all that with the sky that you want and the sea, helicopters taking off and landing in the background.
Obviously with the flotilla being as it is and this ship being the center of the flotilla, we've got aircraft arriving, we've got stores being unloaded, the Constitution being taken out of the planes, we've got troops, got all the refugees milling around. It's a very, very busy place.
Good to see you, my friend. Business worldwide. Is anyone doing better than we are?
This is at an international scale where you have people from all over the world. There must be at least 500 actors who have come on as extras on the set. And it's amazing because then it gives you a real feeling of the magnitude.
Eddie! We're in the bottom of a British naval vessel, and this is a huge space that they have made into this war room. We got so many people working in here with us. I mean, the wardrobe, we've got Navy guys, Marines, we've got the guys decked out in SEAL stuff. We've got all these hard books that they use in the military for laptops. It is like decked out completely.
You all read the same email I did that said zombies.
This boat has become the central office for what is left of the UN, and there's a briefing room where they are trying to gather as much information as possible and then make decisions based on that information.
We'll send you in with the team.
And it's that room in which Jerry gets invited to go on this mission.
Think we're gonna find anything?
Yeah, we're gonna find something. Mother Nature is a serial killer. No one's better.
In the movie, it talks about nature being a serial killer and this idea that death is a common part of the natural world. Of course it is. Many organisms have evolved to take out other organisms. In some cases, it's outright death. They'll kill the host. In other cases, they'll just castrate it. So is nature a serial killer? Yes, absolutely.
I'm good. Who was it? Who fell? Who was it? Who fell? Joking. Need an ammo count and you reload your mags. A boy out there who died. He was 23. 23 years old. Won't tell me why?
Jerry Lane comes to Korea to investigate what could possibly be the origin of the virus. They start sifting through information that they had before, trying to figure out what this is and where it came from, and they come across an email that my character, Captain Speak, had sent. And it's the first known recorded evidence of this virus, the zombies, the Zeke, whatever you want to call them. Nobody knows what it is yet.
It was important to me that all the attacks feel different and different experiences and should have a different impact. And this one in Korea, the idea was that they have to get in a silent way back to their plane because we established very early that they're drawn by sound. So we chose bicycles, which in one hand you can say, oh, this is ridiculous. But I thought the best way to get back to the plane in the fastest fashion instead of walking.
Just pedal your ass off.
And I thought this entire scene should be backlit at night in the rain, that you only see like silhouettes, and almost that the zombies and the human are both silhouettes, that they almost become one.
I'm gonna clear a path through Zeke! You paddle like hell!
My character, Captain Speak, can see the ridiculousness in all of this, but he's someone who's just trying to do his job, and it's important to him to get that man on that airplane. If he can do anything, he can do that. And Speak does pay the ultimate price for that. And make sure he meets his end as a human and not as a zombie.
فیلم World War Z در نهایت در ماه جون سال 2013 به اکران عمومی درآمد و توانست نقدهای مثبت بسیاری را در سایت روتن تومیتوز دریافت کرده و رتبه 6.2 را از 10 به خود اختصاص دهد. همچنین در دسامبر 2013 کمپانی پارامونت طی اعلامی رسمی عنوان کرد که دنباله این فیلم به زودی تولید خواهد شد و خوان آنتونیو بایونا کارگردانی آن را بر عهده خواهد گرفت.